Alright, in lesson 17 we're learning about more complex movements, specifically with the counter pattern, and what we mean by that is kind of how the values change. Now this is a really important lesson in a sense, especially if you want to continue on with coding in the future, because this counter pattern or changing these values is a really important concept. What we're going to do is we're going to be in puzzle 2 you looked at the velocity property, so you could change a sprite's velocity during the program. In other words, you make it faster or make it slower. That's called accelerating. So this makes the sprite speed up. Do a little practice using this pattern yourself. So what we're going to do is use the counter pattern with the velocity x property to make the car speed up. So kind of like what I said in the previous video, we're going to go ahead and run the program just to see what's going on. We're going to look at the code and then we reread the directions. So we notice that the car is moving fairly slowly at this, but it's going at the same rate. It's not going faster or going slower, it's going at the same speed the whole time. Let's take a look at the code. We have a car animation set up. It's going to be the red car. The variable is called car. The velocity is set to 0 and 2/10. Here the draw function is we are just going to draw the sprites. That's all we have done. Well, so let's look at what we need to do. So the car already moves across the screen, but it's going very slowly. Use the counter pattern with the sprite's velocity x property to make the car speed up. If we click show me where, it'll tell us where to do that, and we'll do it under the comments right here. So to do that, what we're going to want to do is we're going to set the sprite's velocity, x velocity. We're going to call it car, that's the one we're changing, and we're going to use the math one to go ahead and do what was it? I think it's under sprites. We could type it, or we could just drag the block. I do like typing it. I find it a little faster. And then, well, how much do you want to speed it up? Maybe by, I don't know, 0 and 5/10. If we reset it, it's going faster and faster. Let's slow it down actually, so we see what it looks like. Okay, so it starts off slow and moving faster, 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 because each frame it's going to speed up by another 1/10. And that's essentially what we saw in puzzle 2, right? Where we saw the square speed up fast and go faster and faster. So that was puzzle 3. Let's look at 9. So here what we're asked to do is we're going to use the counter pattern with the sprite's y velocity to simulate gravity and jumping. If we use the sprite's x velocity in a counter pattern, you can make your sprite float from side to side as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add an if statement inside the draw loop for the up arrow. We're going to do another one for the right arrow. Inside if block, we're going to use the counter pattern to change the x velocity. Okay, so let's go and run the code and see what we have. Right now we don't really have much. We have the flyer or the character going down. Let's look at the code. We have the character variable. It's that flyer, this one. In the draw function we have the sky blue background. The gravity, the simulating gravity, is the velocity, the y velocity, meaning going up and down. It's going down by 1/10. Remember, plus means it's going downwards. If you remember, the y value increases as we go down. Okay, so let's update the sprites. So when the key went down, when we press the up arrow on a keyboard, what do you want to happen? Well, we want it to jump, right? I guess it doesn't say that specifically, but we do want it to go up or jump. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the y value. We're going to make sure we type in character. And let's say again, when we go up, that's a negative. So we're going to use the math, or I could type that. Let me even show you the typing. Character velocity y. And since we're going down, we could add a negative. Remember in your math class, we could add a negative, or we could subtract. Let's go ahead and just add a negative. Let's say negative 0 and 2/10. And let's try 0 and 2/10. So let's try that out. Okay, so we could have used the math symbol, subtraction, or adding a negative. Character is going to go up by 2/10, and let's take a look at it. We're going to run it. We're going to press up. And it's not working. Let's take a look at this. It should work. Let's try this again. Why is it not working? Character velocity. I wonder if, let's maybe make a bit larger negative, larger value. There it goes. So it's just because my number earlier was a little too small. Maybe this is a little too big. So let's say -1. Okay, so you could design how you want to, but then it did work. It was just my number earlier was really small, so we couldn't really see a difference. Okay, so that was the first one. You know, and then from there you're going to want to do the same thing, but now for the right arrow. And I put in my notes that the reason I want to highlight this was actually that mistake I just made, where it looked like it wasn't working, but that 0 and 1/10 was really small. So you might want to change the values to higher values if you're seeing that it's not really making the changes you want. Or of course, if it's making it too much, then you could adjust it to be lower. Okay, so you're going to want to finish this up. I didn't finish this puzzle. And the last one I'm going to look at is puzzle 13. I actually put a lot of different things in here. This is actually the, I reset it. You're going to be continuing from the code you have. But let me actually just show you guys. I should have just left it. Let me show you guys my puzzle, or nope, that's not the right one. Maybe it's from 3 days ago. Let me show you guys mine, and I did all 3 different things. I gave it points, so I added a scoreboard. I made another coin that's a bad coin, and so let's take a look at what we did. So when I run this now, I have the debugging on. I can move right and left. I'm curious why we have these broken sprites there. I didn't have that before, but as you guys could see, that's all working. Okay, so my scoreboard is being updated. I'm kind of curious why I have these broken animations here. I'll debug that in a second. It wasn't there earlier, so I think it was because I made changes to the previous things, and that all affects this current page also. Okay, but the big thing is you want to make at least one of these improvements. And oh, I forgot to point out how I made the quote-unquote bad coin. What I did was I just duplicated this coin, and I just used this paint bucket tool, and I just kind of changed the color. So let me do another one. Let's call it bad coin 2. We're not going to use it. It's just, I just want to show you guys what I did. And then I filled in some of the color. So maybe this outside one, I think I did black. Then I just kind of changed it here to like an orangish, a darker orange, something along those lines, a reddish somewhere. So I just kind of used the bucket tool, and I changed the shading of some of the colors. Okay, so that's what I did there. You only need to make at least one of those improvements. But if you want to practice all 3, even better.